Hello and welcome to the Strongman Champions League. Round number 3. This time we're in Serbia. Last time we were at the FIBO Expo in Germany where Martin Wildauer went wild, coming second to Zaviskas.
Martin, we just saw in Germany you beat Christoph on 1 second on Atlas Stones. That must have been fantastic for you.
I mean, it feels pretty good, you know, because Christoph is one of the strongest athletes on the planet, and I beat him in the stones. Normally he's really good in the stones. I had a really good run. I loved it.
Also, we saw on the end, on the FIBO in Germany, that Sidrunas almost get caught by you. He had one more rep, but if you would have been one more rep, you know, what would have happened? You would have won the competition.
Yeah, but you know, that's Sidrunas. He just put another 10% on and he wins.
He's an icon in the sport, I know. Anyway, today here we are in Serbia, third stage Strongman Champions League. Sidrunas is not here. Erwin and Haftor is here, but what is your expectation for today?
Serbia is always a really, really tough competition. The weather is really, really hot and the equipment is really heavy and the athletes are strong, but strongman competition.
Well, we will see today. I wish you good luck for that. Do you have anything to say to our viewers?
Watch me on the next stage on Serbia. I will fight for the first place. Yeah!
But we are in Novi Sad in northern Serbia, home of the great Erwin Katona, many times Serbia's strongest man, and indeed the yellow jersey wearer. He's leading after 2 stages of the Strongman Champions League 2014. 12 great strongmen from around the world, all here ready to compete in front of this very knowledgeable crowd. Well, 6 events await these men. Very hot day, best part of 30 degrees here. Well, let's meet the athletes who are taking part in this event. Aiden Arnott from Bosnia-Herzegovina. The veteran Lauri Nami, many times Estonia's strongest man. Believe it or not, he's a former semi-professional goalkeeper. Danis Zageris, now Latvia's strongest man. We spoke to him earlier. Austria's strongest man, Martin Wildauer. Used to be known as the deadlift kid, but he's no kid anymore. 27 years old, but on the rise. Number 2 in Serbia, Alen Radosevic, comes from right here in Novi Sad. Trains with Erwin Katona. You know he's going to be solid on home soil. The number 1 German right now, Daniel Wild. 30 years old, not the biggest and heaviest at only 125 kilos, but a good athlete. Likewise, Akos Naj, former junior world champion in Olympic weightlifting, 36 years old, very explosive. Krzysztof Radziakowski, world champion in the Strongman Champions League last year, still suffering a triceps injury though. From Norway, Bjorn Andres Solvang, great strongman, even made the finals of Norway's Got Talent, a very funny guy as well as powerful. Well, this giant figure casting a huge shadow here is Haftor Bjornsson, known as Mountain in the Game of Thrones TV show, just 25 years old, Iceland's strongest man. And from Serbia, huge cheers for this man, Erwin Katona, very well known in these parts. This is hometown, probably favourite for today. Well, his stats, 1m89, 145 kilos, but he's won just about anything. Well, finally, a rather sad-looking Simon Suleiman, 43 years old. I'm afraid he's injured himself in the warm-up as Syria's strongest man. And 2 referees we see so often in the Champions League. Ilkka Kinnunen there with the bald head from Finland, and Marcel Moster from Holland. They'll be looking after the events today. So 6 events, grueling events await these men. First up, arm over arm. Well, the crowd just fascinated by these giants. Erwin Katona absolutely brilliant at this first event. Nobody likes to go first in truck pull. Just one of those things. Everybody likes to see how hard it is and try and gauge your pace. 20 meters to pull, just a few sniffs of ammonia salts, that's all that is. Just fires you up. It's like a sharp pain to the brain. Let's see how Katona gets on here. This will be the benchmark for the others. So far so good. He's got over that initial inertia. It's coming towards him. He's past halfway. Remember, the tyre must go all the way over the line. 40 seconds, just over perhaps. Maybe just before. That is a hard pull. 40.20 is the exact time. Well, if anyone's going to beat it, it's Hapthor Bjornsson. My goodness, we've got two of the very best coming out early on here. If you were to build someone to be perfect at arm over arm, it would be Bjornsson. A giant of a man, 2 meters 6 tall, and that certainly helps. That's over 6'9" tall in old money. Long arms, long legs, good levers. In many ways, he's like a giant Olympic rower. Big, long pulls. He's got to keep that rope taut. Certainly is keeping the momentum going. So powerful. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's going to destroy the time of Katona here. 40 seconds to beat. That was barely over 30. My goodness. Bjornsson. He is perhaps the strongest man in the world right now. And he goes so hard at it. Great time there. 32 seconds to beat then for Martin Wildauer. Now Wildauer, the second tallest man in this competition, and it really does help to have those long levers, a brilliant lower back as well. But you do need a good grip. Not that I'm saying that Wildauer has a bad grip. You can't have your grip go out and you're here. It's got to stay strong as you pull the rope. I think he could well beat Katona. It's going to be tight anyway. Just over 40 seconds for the great Serb. And that's just under. 39.45 for the Austrian. Alan Radosevic works as a personal trainer here in Novi Sad, in the town. This is one of the largest cities in Serbia, cut in half by the great river Danube. Fun city to be in the middle of the summer. And Radosevic, despite being shorter than some of the others, is powering away here. I bet he's practiced this a few times. I'm sure he's played on the kit. This is his hometown. This is the local kit. Why not take advantage? And goodness, has he beaten his partner Katona? It's going to be really, really close. 40.20 to beat. And the official time, 39.46. Wow. That's a body blow to his friend and senior compatriot Katona. Now, Daniel Wild comes out. It's good to see an upcoming, rising German. It's been a while since we really have had a top German. Good athlete, Wild. Very slim around the waist. Some would say perhaps he needs to bulk up a little bit more, put some more weight on, but certainly gives him good fitness. This is coming very quickly towards the finish line, surprisingly quickly. There you go. A very fit man is Germany's strongest man, and I think that's ahead of Wildauer's 39. Well ahead, I think. 37.58. Certainly doesn't trouble Thor Bjornsson's 32, though. He's in a league of his own. Now, Krzysztof Radziakowski, Strongman Champions League champion from last year, just hasn't taken the time out from when he injured his tricep. in Malaysia at the end of last season. And the rumour is he needs surgery. He knows it now. And this may well be his last contest for a few months. Still, the tricep not affected too much here in this. It's more biceps, it's pulling. Upper back, lower back. Getting it moving well. He's going to trouble Wildau's 39. Probably not quite as quick as Wildt's 37. There we go, over the line. Ilkka Kinnunen blows his whistle. And 38.72 is his score. One man left to come, Bjorn Andre Solvang. And if you saw him in the street with a jacket on, you probably wouldn't even think he was a strong man. He's not a huge man at all, by strongman terms anyway. Maybe 1.80 meters on a good day and 115 kilos after a good meal, but so explosive and throwing his entire body into this. Big power sit-up each time. Trying to keep that rope coming as taut as possible. Well, if he was a foot taller, 30 centimeters taller like Bjornsson, he'd be unstoppable. Still, it'll be a solid time here. Katona's 40.20, just outside that, I think. 42.57.
Thor, welcome here in Serbia, Strongman Champions League. I think, looking on the first event, you'll like it here in Serbia.
Yeah, it was a good event for me, arm more arm. I've been improving a lot in this event. I'm really happy with the victory in this event. Next event is Viking Press. It's going to be a good fight. We have Erwin Katona. He is in his hometown. He's in really good shape. But I'm also in good shape, so it's going to be a great fight.
Bjornsson looking cool and casual, and he's destroyed the field. 5 seconds down to Daniel Wildt, who's done very well. Radzikowski in third. We'll be back in a moment with 5 more events.
Power! Best in Europe! Yeah!
Welcome back to Novi Sad in Serbia, Strongman Champions League, round number 3. Akos Naj of Hungary enjoying himself here. So too this massive crowd. About 5,000 people have come down to one of the town squares. Next up, second event, Viking press. 165 kilos has to be pressed overhead to arm's length. And Ilkka Kinnunen just giving the first man up a few words of warning. You must get it below your ears, lock your elbows out. And Arnott of Bosnia-Herzegovina struggling a bit with this 165 kilos. It's a massive weight, 360 odd pounds. Just one rep for Arnott. Denis Zageris of Latvia next. Zageris has some tremendous shoulders. Very good rhythm so far. This is a colossal weight. World record holder at this is Erwin Katona. Best ever, 13 repetitions. Tell you what, this man's not far off it. Oh, he's hit the wall, 10 reps. I'm not sure he's doing many more now. No, just does a double dip as it's known. You can only bend your legs once and then you must press it out from there. If you were to dip a second time with your knees, that's considered jerking. That is not allowed. Well, a man who knows how to jerk a lot of weight, Akos Naj, former junior world champion in Olympic weightlifting. Hungarian from Budapest. Will certainly use all of that leg power to get him going here. So far, so good. 6 reps for the Hungarian. Remember, the world record's only 17. Uh-oh. No, goodness. Just fatigued very quickly there. Always tries his best, Naj. 7 repetitions. That'll get him solid points. Larry Nami up next. Again, a former Olympic weightlifter. Not quite the standard that Akos Naj was. But he was Estonian champion. Clean and jerked well over 200 kilograms. It's a bit more slow, a bit more laboured than Akos was. And the same breath has more shoulder and tricep power. Tough guy, Larry Nami. 6 reps. This 7th will equal Nash. No, he's not going to get it, I don't think. Works almost the entire week. 50, 60, 70 hours building log cabins up in Estonia. Somehow manages to squeeze his strongman training in. A hard man, Nami. Bjorn André Solvang, Norway. Somewhere in the crowd, Sven Karlsson is here watching on. Former world's strongest man from Norway. This his protege. Solvang, my goodness, has he got spectacular shoulders. Already on 7, hunting down 10 of Zagiris. There's 10, now 11. Could he do the world record? That was disallowed. That's a shame because he's equaled the world record. This one to take it, 14, I don't believe it. He's beaten Katona's record. In Katona's home country as well. My goodness, what a statement to make. 14 reps, a world record.
Björn, fantastic. A new world record on the Viking press. 165 kilos, 14 reps. Did you expect that?
No, actually I didn't. I was hoping to do maybe top 3, but when I picked it up, it felt so light. So in the end, it paid out for a world record. So now I'm excited, very excited.
Well, Irvin Katona has just seen his world record being broken. And that's a huge body blow. How can he react here in front of his home crowd? Snapping them out quickly as possible. He's never had the best lockout, his left arm in particular. It just doesn't go quite straight. 9 reps, 10 reps, he's faltering. I'm not sure he's going to take this back, no! Perhaps that was tactical. He's given up there at 11. He would have needed another 3 to equal Solvang. I think he knew he just didn't have it in it, so he stopped at 11. This will be fascinating. Martin Wildauer, the deadlift kid, he's definitely not a shoulder monster, but he's improved enormously in his upper body this year. We saw that in FIBO. Such long arms, it doesn't help. Ooh, number 5 there, you can see it being rejected. Got to get it down below your ears, lock it out at the top properly. I think you'll be happy with that. Just checking with the referees there, they're explaining, yeah, it must be down below your ears each time. Got to do a full repetition, says Marcel Mustet. Good call, though, from the referees. And Wildauer, well, he's accepting that. Confirmation, 5 for the Austrian. Hapthor Bjornsson next. Well, this will be fascinating. In many ways, Wildauer's excuse of being very tall, not that he uses that, that's the excuse I'm giving him. Well, it doesn't hold much weight here because Bjornsson's much taller. Let's see how powerful he is in the shoulders. A little bit slow off the mark. He's grinding them out. There goes, ooh, number 6. 7, that equals Akos Naj. 10 to equal Zagiris, he's getting very close. He's done that, 11 for Katona. Plenty of time left, no. Triceps burnt out. So that means Solvang gets the world record of 14. Bjornsson settles for 10.
Yeah, you had a new world record beating Erwin, because Erwin was the previous record holder. Now, we took one off because it was not below enough from the ears. Were you okay with that?
Yeah, it's fair because you did the same thing with me as everybody else, so you can complain with the judge. So, but anyway, it's world record, so I don't complain anyway.
What do you expect from the next events in the competition? Do you expect to get the podium today?
Actually, my next event, the frame walk, I know that's a pretty bad event for me, so I needed the points for the Viking press. So, but the loading and the car deadlift, it's normally good events for me, so I hope to pick some more points. But if I do top 5 today, I'm very happy.
Well done, Bjorn Andre. Magnificent. There's confirmation, 14 reps, a world record over and above Katona, who manages to get second. Zagaris third. Bjornsson down in fourth. Therefore, the overall points, Solvang and Katona are equal second. Bjornsson out on top, 21.5 points. Well, next for the crowd, it's going to be the frame walk. This horrible contraption weighs 360 kilos. The crowd have seen this one before here in Novi Sad. 75 seconds to complete. A hard one for the athletes. There's Martin Wildauer. Wildauer has a good grip. He's good at this kind of event. Arnaut of Bosnia-Herzegovina, not so tested at this world-class level. So, Wildauer on the right, Arnaut on the left. We're underway. I doubt very, very much they'll use all 75 seconds. They'll either burn out early on or they'll finish. 20 meters up, Wildauer will drop and turn. It's a 40-meter race. Well, Arnaut struggling to even get it off the ground. That's no problem for Wildauer. Oh, he's gone down now. That's trouble. And that means his grip's starting to go. You can see him shaking his hands. Wildauer again on the charge towards the finish line. Just 5 meters to go. The crowd egging him on here. A very likable man. And he finishes. Poor old Arnaut never got off the start line. Wow, that's why he's destroyed his hands. Wildauer, 43 seconds. Arnaut, half a meter. Lauri Nami, the Estonian, up against Akos Nagy, the Hungarian. This will be an interesting battle. Nagy on the left, Nami on the right. Ooh, both men just snatching a bit at their grip. Well, you know what? Both men are really struggling just to hold this. The handles are slippy. They're not beautifully knurled like an Olympic weightlifting bar or a powerlifting bar. Makes it all the trickier, especially in these hot conditions when your palms start to sweat. Well, after 30 seconds, this is neck and neck. Both men looking at their hands. I hope they're not hurting them too badly. It's so easy to tear chunks of skin off here. Nagy just ahead. He lets Nami go for it and then pops himself ahead. Cat and mouse this event, certainly with these two. Coming up to 75 seconds. Nagy has just got him. No, I thought Nami might just make a last burst, but he didn't have the energy, and they have paid the price there. Ouch. I'm okay, says Nami. There you go. Tough guy building log cabins all day. No problem for him. 14 meters for Nagy. 13 for Nami. Denis Zagaris looking a little pensive here. Probably a bit worried. Well, probably because he's going against this man, Thor Bjornsson, like Superman Bjornsson. Not only is he tall, he's athletic. Former basketball player for Iceland. Wildly strong, and he's even got a great grip too. Zagaris, I think he'll struggle to get to the 20-meter mark. Now, trying to beat the time of Wildauer here. Bjornsson on the charge. 43 seconds to beat. He's annihilated it. 24 for Bjornsson or thereabouts. 24.16 at 15 meters for Zagaris. Well, let's see how this man can reply. Very bad first event for Katona, current leader in the Champions League. Bjorn Solvang, of course, took his world record in the second event. In fact, it's been a bad start so far for Erwin Katona, who's won the last 4 events here. The last Grand Prix since 2009 in Novi Sad. An easy runaway victor. Now, he's doing a bit of running away here. This is much, much better. Could he put Bjornsson under pressure? 24 seconds to beat. Bjornsson turned around the 16-second mark. I think Katona was a second slower. 24 seconds has come and gone. Well, that is certainly good enough to come just behind Bjornsson in second. And I'm afraid Bjorn Andre Solvang staring at his hands. He's probably destroyed them already. He's going to get some pretty poor points from this. Katona, 28 seconds, gives him second. Solvang will get 9th with that.
Erwin, it looks like you have a hard day here in Serbia. Haftor is here, some other good guys are here. We all expect you to win, of course, but what do you think yourself?
First event was arm over arm, but it's my best event and I lose a lot of points. After second and third events, I finished in second place all 2 events. It's very good, but in the start I lose a lot of points and probably in the end I need that points.
On which event you're gonna catch Thor, you think?
Probably now I have chance in front hold, maybe in deadlift, but in medley in the last events probably not.
Well, you have the crowd here for you, so I wish you all the luck for the next 3 events. You will do well.
Thank you.
Well, Katona certainly performed solidly enough there. An event he's always won in the past, but Thor Bjornsson takes the victory, 4 seconds ahead, extends his lead. Katona in second on his own, and Vildar now in third. Welcome back to Novi Sad in the Strongman Champions League, round number 3. We are moving on with the 4th event. It's the forward hold, as the athletes just trying to grab a bit of shade. It's a hot, hot day here. 4th event, 30 kilograms to be held out in front of you for as long as possible. It's about strength, of course, but mind over matter. Who can suck up the pain the most? Arnott of Bosnia-Herzegovina gets us underway. Erwin Katona has done better than anybody else at this event. He's done somewhere close to a minute 20 at his best. Anyone who gets even close to a minute is doing very well and could come first or second. And I think probably around 50 seconds will put you into the top 5 or 6. Now you must keep your arms straight, your back reasonably upright. The weights can't be held above your head or below your chest. So virtually at 90 degrees out from the body, and Arnott struggling. The side and front referees keeping an eye on him. Tell him to put it down. 46 seconds. So far is the best. This should be fascinating. Solvang can be excellent at this event. I mean, truly brilliant. Former bodybuilder, of course. We know what great shoulders he's got from the Viking press. But it's that very Viking press that he beat the world record at that may well have stripped him of his power. You can see his hands there strapped up. Blood seeping from the bandages. That last event, the frame walk. Well, it's taken its toll on him. Starting to shake a little bit here. As I said, though, former bodybuilder, and one thing bodybuilders know how to do, that is take pain. Build up the lactic acid, and it's pumping through his veins right now. Shaking hard. Coming towards Arnott's 46 seconds. He's beaten that. Over 50, a wobble there, and told to put it down by Moster. He wasn't happy with his position. That's a solid time, 50 seconds. Alen Radosevic sporting a beard for the first time ever in international competition. Now, Radosevic has spoken to me before. He's very pragmatic about just how far he can take the sport. He's a big guy, of course, but I remember standing with him, looking around at some of the giants like Thor Bjornsson and Zaviskus. And he said to me he knew he'd never be the world's strongest man, but he's a fighter. A really tough guy, Radosevic. And he's digging in as hard as he can here. Over 30 seconds. He might not be a genetic monster at over 2 meters, but he does his very best there. And well, digs in for a time 37.18. Next up, Krzysztof Radziakowski, the former PE teacher, sport teacher from Gówno in Poland. Taken over the mantle of Poland's strongest man from Mariusz Pudzianowski. He won this event, actually, in the opening Strongman Champions League Grand Prix in Martinique at the beginning of the season. Interestingly, he's holding the weights apart. You see a lot of the guys jam these two weights together, these two 15-kilo pumps together to try and get some stability, but not Radziakowski. Well, no matter what any of these guys do, we still have Ervin Katona to come, and well, we know Katona is just outstanding at this. Radziakowski digging in well here. Remember, he couldn't do the Viking press because of his tricep, so perhaps his shoulders are still strong. That's a brilliant time from the pole. 55.17. Let's see what Martin Wildau can do. The Austrian just leaning back a little bit there. Can't lean back too far, but he's going to be allowed that at the moment. Remember, his arms are so long. He's not quite 2 meters tall, but his wingspan, well, it's like an albatross. He's so wide. And that is not good biomechanics for this. Looking to try and beat Radziakowski's time. 55 seconds is what the time is to beat. I remember seeing him in Finland, actually, at a big power truck festival, winning this event. He can blow hot and cold. Oh, it's starting to lower. Last few seconds, and 52.78 is what he's been given. That's very good for such a tall man. Ervin Katona, a serious face on there. No surprise. His hometown, his home patch. Last 4 years, he's beaten everybody handsomely. Right now, he's struggling for points. He's down in second. He needs a win here. Keep him in check with Thor Bjornsson. Getting some big support. The crowd clapping, getting behind him. They want to see Katona do well. I mean, he's a big, big star in Serbia, Katona. Big enough that he was actually on Celebrity Big Brother and made it all the way down to the final day. A real lovable character. Eyes shut, trying to find a happy place. Ilkka Kinnunen, the referee, to the front. He's happy that they're not getting too high, but the shake is on. Radziakowski's 55 seconds. Ooh, just perhaps. 55.17 to beat. What's the official time? Smile on Kinnunen's face, it must be close. 55.31, he's done it. That leaves us with just one man to go then, Thor Bjornsson of Iceland. As I said before, former basketball player, 2 meters 6 tall. Horribly long arms for this kind of event. I can tell you, he does not like this event at all. He's often said to me, this is a massive disadvantage for the really tall men with long arms, but, well, a lot of events are a huge advantage to be tall, so I guess you can't have it all your own way. Eyes shut, digging in. Very intense competitor. So many great Icelanders of the past. Magnus Ver Magnusson. John Paul Sigmarsson, of course. This man following in their footsteps. Vildauers 52 seconds. Solvang 50. He's well behind those men. Nami was 49. Zageris 46. Bjornsson 46-56.
Erwin, you got some points back on the forward hold on tour. 1.5 points ahead now.
Yes, I'm leading now, but I don't know. It's very good events for tour. Now, second 2 events. I give my best and I will be see. I lose a lot of points in the start. I'm leading now, but I'm not really sure it will be enough.
Well, I look already forward to the last event, the loading. It will be very exciting. Who will be the winner of the Champions League in Serbia? It will be you or Tor?
Maybe me, maybe Tor, but Martin also in the game, and Martin now started also 2 very good events, and it will be a very hard podium.
Okay, good luck with it, man.
Thank you.
Katona taking the applause from the local crowd, and they're very happy to see their man out on top in the forward hold, but just, wow, 0.14 of a second in it ahead of the pole. So, Katona, because of Bjornsson's poor effort there, has gone into the lead with 2 events to go. Vildauer third. Well, we're at the Strongman Champions League in Novi Sad in Serbia. 2 events to come. Next up, it is deadlift for repetitions. The back end of these cars have to be lifted up as many times as possible in 60 seconds. No mean feat, and we're going to go head to head. Daniel Wild of Germany up first. Takes on the imposing figure of Thor Bjornsson. And he might be a very tall man, Bjornsson, but wow, can this guy deadlift. So Bjornsson on the right for Iceland. Waste no time. Wild struggling a little bit here. The weight in the hands around about 360 kilograms. That is above Wild's personal best. Bjornsson banging out the reps. There goes 6. A fight for 7. He may well have one more here. Digs it out. Back getting all cut, bent and out of shape. Can he squeeze another one out? So much fire in his belly, Bjornsson. Tough, tough guy. And he's happy with that. That'll be tricky to beat. 9 reps is the lead. Wild, I'm afraid 0. Danis Zageris. Now here's a man who not only loves heavy deadlift, but loves repetitions as well. Larry Nami, he's no slouch, tough guy, but I'd expect Zageris to win this. Remember, Poland Strongman Champions League last year, Zageris was doing reps with 400. And he's sprinting out to the lead here. Nami works up a third. Zageris just 1 ahead. Still loads of time on the clock. Well, I doubt either of them will use all of that time up. They'll burn out long before then. 6 and 5. Nami's putting up a good fight on the left-hand side, the Estonian. Zageris just ahead. One more for Zagaris. It's not the prettiest, but he gets it up. One last effort from Nami. No, that's rooted to the ground. So Zagaris, 7 reps, he'll be pleased with that. Nami, 5. Bjorn André Solvang makes his way in. On his day, not a bad deadlifter. He can also be quite a poor deadlifter sometimes. Depends which Bjorn André turns up. Now, Martin Wildauer on the right. This man is an extraordinary deadlifter. Being very slow and deliberate, Wildauer. Getting a long time at the bottom. He's being, of course, held by the referees because you can't try and use the suspension and bounce it like a basketball, but he's really taking his time. There goes number 5. Wildauer's grounding them out. Solvang looks like he's given up. Can't get one up. Number 6. Zagaris, remember, 7 for him. That's equaled that. He could do another. Trying to get Bjornsson's 9. That's the best so far. 8. One more to go. No, he's running out of time anyway. And I think he's absolutely empty on energy. 8 reps for Wildauer. 0, I'm afraid, for Solvang. Well, let's see how Ervin Katona can get on. Little smile on his face. He's back in the lead. Needs to put out a good score here. Beat Radzikovski. Maybe even beat Bjornsson, because the last event, the medley, well, that is very suited to Bjornsson. 1 rep apiece. Good start by both men. Katona just a little bit quicker off the ground. They're allowed to strap on. That takes away the element of pain in your hands, and Radzikovski's tricep is hurting. He's had to stop there. And to be honest, the sooner he gets that surgery and gets himself fixed, the better. Katona pulling for his whole life here. 7 reps, he gets it. He's equal Zagaris and he walks away there. So Wildauer an 8, Bjornsson 9. 3rd equal for this man with 7. Radzikovski settles for 3.
Thor, you tired?
A little bit. It's been a hard competition. Lost a lot of points in front hold, but I came back with a good victory in the deadlift. So I'm happy. 1 event left. It's a loading race, one of my best events. So I'm in a good spot now. I'm happy.
Half point away now from Ervin. Half point ahead on him in this Champions League here in Serbia. Ervin's hometown. Are you going to beat him on this event?
I'm going to do my best. Normally this is a really good event for me. If I do no mistake, yes, I think I will, but you can always do mistakes, so I have to be focused and ready.
Still, I think you want to remain sitting here, isn't it?
I would like to sit here and just relax in the sun. It's pretty nice, but there's 1 event left. I have to fight.
Good luck, man, in the last event.
Thank you.
Enjoying himself, Bjornsson. Another win, 12 points, 9 reps. Wildauer 2nd, Zagaris equal 3rd with Katona. Overall then, Bjornsson back on top by 1.5 points. It's tight going into the last event. Wildauer down in 3rd. Welcome back to Novi Sad, Serbia. Round 3 of the Strongman Champions League, and the giant Thor Bjornsson putting on a show for the crowd. Getting cheered along, though he is beating the local hero, Ervin Katona. Just 1.5 points in it, and this event still to come. The loading race, 3 sacks, 120 kilos, have to be carried over the 10-meter course and loaded in the quickest time possible. Alen Radosevic of Serbia up against Daniel Vilt to get us underway. Radosevic on the left, with the beard, Wild in the hat for Germany. Well, what's the best way to carry it? Radosovic carrying it width way. Wild trying to carry it up and down. Imagine Radosovic would have trained this quite a bit. These giant Hessian sacks. It's here in Serbia, here in his hometown. Doing well so far. 2 in 30 seconds. Wild. Up goes the second. In this extreme heat, after 5 previous events, the men are exhausted. Radosovic to finish off, to the delight of the crowd. Hands off. Time there, about 48 seconds. Well, luckily for Wild, the time limit here is 90 seconds, so he's not going to run out of time. Does he run out of energy? Gets it on. And punches it for good measure. Radosovic, our lead time, 47 seconds. Wild, 65. Krzysztof Radziakowski looking to get some good points here, get himself up into the top 5. Larry Nami, likewise, could just about threaten Wildau for the top 3, but perhaps the points gap's too big. Certainly he'll want to hold off Radziakowski, who's behind at the moment. It's the Estonian on the left in the black t-shirt, Nami, who's looking good. Radziakowski just fumbling about here. He's got that bad right arm. He's not the man he was last year, and Nami takes the victory here. That's a really quick time. About 23, 24 seconds. Radziakowski, 34-ish. 23.76 for Nami. Radosovic was 47, Radziakowski 34. Denis Zagaris, the Latvian. Again, very quick, very fit. So too Wildauer. There's a lot of really good loading medley athletes here. Oh, goodness. He leaps away like he's been electrocuted and grabs his arm. I hope Zagaris hasn't hurt himself too badly. That might be a bicep. Very common injury in strongman. Up goes number 2 for Wildauer, who, to be honest now, is really just competing against himself. Very unlikely he can be quick enough to catch Katona in second. In fact, it's impossible, really, and he's not going to be beaten by the likes of Zagaris. So that has cemented his place on the podium. Zagaris out injured. This is the one we've been waiting for. What a climax to this show. Ervin Katona, leader in the Strongman Champions League, homeboy hero, up against the enormous figure of Thor Bjornsson. He's just on the climb in strongman. He might be the strongest man in the world. By the end of this Strongman Champions League season, he may well prove it. So, Bjornsson on the left. Katona, the old warrior, on the right. 12 years older. 1.5 points between these two after 5 events. Katona struggling to keep up on the first sack. He's going to need Bjornsson to make a mistake now. Bjornsson, the height of the tables, barely above his hips. And he pops on the third one. It's barely 20 seconds. That is outstanding from the Icelander. And he knows it. Well, after a moment, he turns and applauds Katona. A good sportsman, too. And I think Katona, well, there's no shame in being beaten by this young man. He may well have been beaten by a future great. In fact, I think you can say he's a great already. Katona's run ends 4 in a row here in Serbia. But with 19.78 seconds in the loading, Bjornsson is the champion here. There's confirmation by 4 seconds ahead of Nami, who was very quick too. Katona was third in the loading. That was good in the end, but not good enough. Overall then, Bjornsson on top, Katona 3.5 behind. Wildauer, the bronze medal. Martin Wildau getting the applaud of the crowd. Really top-class athlete. Second in FIBO, now third here in Serbia. He's right up there in the world. Katona, he's had a few injuries recently, but still manages to battle to second. But he's been beaten by a Superman in Thor Bjornsson, the champion here in Novi Sad, round number 3. Let's have a look at the overall rankings in the Champions League. Katona's still on top, Wildau second, and Bjornsson has brought himself up to 6th place, equal with Zaviskus after just one contest. Well, that's it from here in Serbia. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Till next time, goodbye.